What do you mean we're not going to have a second breakfast? I can't fight against the Demon King who's terrorizing the whole world with nothing but a bit of bread in me belly. Hey, it's Tim here, your average dungeon master and your amateur bar master. Today I'm making a variation on an old fashioned, something that I came up with called second breakfast. All right, so I didn't come up with the name second breakfast, and I also didn't come up with the old fashioned. The old fashioned is perhaps one of the most famous cocktails, if not the most famous cocktail, and second breakfast is a reference to hobbits in the Lord of the Rings, or halflings in D&D. The term halfling seems to maybe have come from a Scots word for halfling, or a teenager who's between a child and an adult. Some also claim that another word for halfling is hobby, which seems like a kind of a leap to me, but whatever. We're calling this second breakfast because it has bacon-infused bourbon, maple syrup, maple bitters, coffee liqueur, and coffee. I've done bacon-infused bourbon before. It's fat-washed. I don't say fat-washed because that sounds gross. I say infused. That sounds better. It's a fat-washed bourbon. To do a fat-wash, you take a fat and you add it to a spirit, and you let the spirit break down the organic compounds in the fat, and it takes on the flavor. And then you solidify the fat by getting it cold, and then you just take it off, and then it keeps the flavor without any of the actual fat. Half ounce of coffee liqueur. This is from Cardinal Spirits in Bloomington, Indiana. It's a little bit sweeter, so I'm going to add a bar spoon of maple syrup. I might add a little bit more if I was using a coffee liqueur that wasn't sweet, but just a scant bar spoon of maple syrup. Squinch. Okay, so I've got bacon bourbon, I've got coffee liqueur. I'm gonna add a coffee ice cube. I don't want to water this down as much. You use ice in an old fashioned to dilute the drink, and I'm being a little bit risky today. I am using coffee to water this down instead of water. So I add the ice cube to the drink, and I'm gonna stir it with my spoon, the same technique that I showed before in my mixing video. I'm using the ice cube to help me rotate the spoon. I put the rounded convex part of the spoon against the back side of the glass, and then go around the outside, pushing and pulling the spoon against the glass. And if you get it going, it's kind of effortless. You just move your hand, and then the swirl on the spoon helps you spin it. So this is helping me chill everything and incorporate the maple syrup into my drink. And now that I'm mixed most of the way, I'm gonna add some maple bitters to complement that maple syrup. I like to really use the bitters. I think it's kind of a little bit of a waste to just do like one dash of bitters. That's silly. I'm gonna use 3 or 4 usually at least. My dropper here gives about 2 dashes per dropper squirt, so I'd use about 3 dashes there in this. And then once I see the corners of my cube rounded from stirring, that's about where I want it, and it'll continue to melt as I go. The last ingredient is the garnish, the orange peel. Citrus peel in this case is gonna add a lot to this drink, so I'm gonna actually peel it over the drink. I'm gonna pull this orange peel over the drink, because when I pull it, it expresses a lot of oils, and then I'll take the peel and to get some additional oils, express that right over the drink, squeeze it, break the peel in half, essentially breaking that skin, and it sprays the oils across the drink, and then you can sort of add them to the rim and the edge of the glass by rubbing it. And I'm just going to drop it in between the cube and the side of the glass. So there's my second breakfast. I got everything I need right in there: bacon, maple, coffee, orange. What else could you need for breakfast? What I love about this, it plays on that classic combination of salty and sweet. We've known that that's a good combination since the beginning of time. And then you add the smokiness in there from the bacon and the whiskey. That bourbon, along with the bacon infusion with that smoke, there's smoked woods, cherry, there's peanut flavors in there. I used this Hotel Tango bourbon today, Hotel Tango Distillery in Indianapolis. That fruitiness from the orange is carried through the drink, I think, by the bourbon probably is what the fruit I'm getting, and then you come back with the maple to that sweet finish. Cheers. Let me see. I'll have the bacon, taters, ham, toast, oats, sausage, nuts, cheese, fruits, bread, Danish, rolls, chicken, turkey, steak, fish, chips, coffee.